Good morning. My name is Ron Kaplan from the New England Restaurant Exposé. Today we are premiering our first show. We will be running every Sunday at 11 a.m. for 1 hour. Today we have a special guest. Our premier guest will be from Sophia's Tuscan Grill, Chef Chris Paleos. I want to tell you a little bit about New England Restaurant Exposé. We're here to help owners, chefs, general managers, front of the house, back of the house, especially during these times of COVID. It's been a challenge for all restaurants and food businesses, and we'd like to help you promote your business. So at this time, I'd like to bring Chef in and get started talking to Chef Chris. Morning, Chef. How you doing? I think you're on mute, Chef.
Am I? Hang on one second.
There we go. How you doing today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. So I got a quick question before we get started.
Sure,
It's a
sure.
Sunday morning, and Sophia's Tuscan Grill, there's some action going on in the background.
Yeah,
What's
we
going
do.
on today? It's a Sunday
We have
morning.
Sunday brunch. It's basically something that my old business partner started, 12, 13 years ago, and we've kind of just ran with it. We have a pretty great following for this as well. We do breakfast every Sunday from 8 to 12 right now. It's normally 8 to 1, but we trimmed it back an hour because of COVID and everything that's going on. So we're doing 8 to 12, and the same high quality stuff that we serve for dinner. We do these amazing homemade French crepes, homemade corned beef hash. I smoke homemade Canadian bacon, fresh bread. Everything is done in house, and that's something that we kind of pride ourselves on here.
So let me ask you a question. Being a BYOB, do people bring in Bloody Marys and mimosas? Are they allowed
Yeah,
to on Sunday?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Being BYOB, during dinner hours, you can bring anything you'd like. Same thing for breakfast. I would say only about 30% do actually bring that Sunday morning booze in with them, which is kind of surprising, being mimosas and Bloody
Right.
Marys and things like that are so popular. But yeah, about 30, 40% are the ones that bring those in. Definitely champagne, things like that.
So tell me about yourself. How you got started in the food business? Where'd you
Sure,
train? How'd you learn to cook?
sure,
Sophia's,
sure.
how the name Sophia's come up?
Sophia's was actually one of my mentors at Johnson and Wales. Him and I actually like kind of opened this place together. He was the owner, and I was just the chef at that point. That's actually kind of a funny story. It was I want to say 2004 we opened here, so it's been 16 years that we've been open. I've been here since day one. But early 2004, he's like, "Hey, I want to take you out to dinner." I was like, "Okay, great." So he took me here, and it was obviously something else before Sophia's. And we had dinner here, and he's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about opening a restaurant." And I was like, "Cool." He's like, "This one." And I'm like, "This one we're sitting in right now?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you want to be the chef?" And I'm 20 years old at that point, you know what I mean? But I've been cooking my whole life, and this guy really took a liking to me right off the bat at Johnson and Wales. He was my first instructor there, and he saw something in me, and I appreciate that, wholeheartedly from to this day. And he asked me if I wanted to kind of run the kitchen with him, and the rest is history, as they say. I kind of just rode with it, and saw something special in this little place, from day one, and eventually it became mine, which is amazing.
Where'd the name Sophia's come from, Chef?
So Sophia is actually his first daughter. She's now 16 years old, but she was actually born, I think, about a month, probably before we opened. I remember it was the name of the restaurant was going to be something else, and then they picked the name for their daughter, and basically, like I said, he stuck with it, and I like the sound of it, and I actually have a niece now, Sophia. So every time she comes up here from Maryland, she says this is her restaurant. I let her ride with it. I tell her she's the boss.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So through COVID, what are your hours of operation? What have you been doing?
So basically, before COVID, we were doing Wednesdays and Thursdays was 5 to 9, and Fridays and Saturdays was 5 to 10. What we found is we kind of had to trim those back a little bit. So what we're doing now is 4 to 8 on Wednesday and Thursday, and 5 to 9 on Friday and Saturday. We found that more people are kind of eating or taking out food a little bit earlier than they were in the past, and not staying out quite as late. You know what I mean? With all the restrictions, I think that it's kind of hindered the late night scene a little bit more. So, by 9 o'clock here on a Friday, Saturday, we're winding down. We might have, 10, 12 people in the restaurant, but, pre-COVID, it was 11 o'clock at night and we were just mobbed still. The restaurant was 60% full, 80% full on a Friday or Saturday night at 10:30, 11 o'clock. So times have
Really?
changed, which has kind of forced us to change a little bit, but not so much in a bad way. It's just I don't say change. It's more like we adapted. We adapted to remain successful and remain, here. Bottom line,
So are you seeing returning customers or are you seeing new
absolutely
customers?
both. Astronomical amounts. I mean, I have an amazing following, and I'm so grateful and thankful for that. But word of mouth is everything here. I mean, I'm born and raised in Connecticut. Well, not really. Yeah, born and raised in Connecticut, but I have actually been in Rhode Island for the exact amount of time that I was in Connecticut. Um, so what I found here is word of mouth is everything in this state. It'll either rise you to the top or it'll destroy you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've had a lot of success with that. And I don't really advertise too much because we're such a small place. I mean, pre-COVID, we only seat 60 people in here, and that's and that's at a full capacity. Right now, obviously, with the 50% capacity and the 8-foot distance between tables, life is a little different. Not so much. It's not bad, but it's different. So I've been very blessed with that. And yes, I mean, we see a ton of new customers, and I'm seeing a lot of new people, coming through our channels, Facebook, Instagram, Yelp. I'm seeing a lot of new faces, which is amazing as well.
That's great. That's great. All right, we're going to go to a quick break and get into the good stuff, the food, and what you prepare in your signature dishes. So
Sure.
we're going to take a break. This is the New England Restaurant Exposé on the platform of sfbnri.com, Sports Fan Base Network, ri.com. And we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the New England Restaurant Exposé on sfbnri.com. All right, Chris, let's get into the good stuff, the food.
Let's do it.
Tell us
Yep.
about your signature dishes. Tell us about your ingredients. And
Sure.
you change your menu a lot?
Every week. Every week.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
You know what's funny? So before we get into the food and everything, I'll kind of give you a backstory. So I've always been kind of leery about changing the menus. So I've always been very creative and very fresh focused and local focused on specials. Um, but I've always been afraid to change the actual dinner menu because, I know how a lot of Rhode Islanders think. Oh, you got to go here and try the veal parm. You got to go here and try the scallops and the risotto. And, oh, I love this here. I was always afraid, if you take these things off the menu, are people going to come back? So I would say I went through probably a 3 to 4 year slump where I didn't really make many changes to the actual dinner menu. The specials changed all the time. But like I said, COVID's kind of forced us to flip the script a little bit and experiment, try new things, drive our businesses like never before. And so the first thing that I started doing was changing the menus. And I thought to myself in the beginning, I'll change the menu every month, to freshen it up and give it a new face and try new things. But I've been changing it every week. And, there's a lot to be said about that in a sense where.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
How many staple items from the original menu are always on there, besides, I'm sure, the veal parm?
I would say probably 6 or 7 out of 16 or 17. So it's still Sophia's focused in a sense of like, I'm going to always play the hits, but at the same time, it's allowed me to kind of step outside the box a little bit, be a little bit more creative, be a little bit more like seasonal and things like that with my menu. It's funny because I have an enormous smoker at my house, and I love smoking meat, and I love doing all of that. I've had a barbecue item on my menu now for 28 weeks. Okay, I've sold out of that menu item every single week. And when I say sold out, I mean like, okay, so give you an example. Like this weekend, I did um, a 12-hour oak smoked beef short rib, boneless, and it was served with balsamic roasted mushrooms, sweet onions, and over a butternut squash risotto. Okay, I sold 120 pounds of just the smoked beef short rib. Like, it's not one case of things. It's, we're selling 150 to 180, 200 pounds of these said items. And that's what kind of made me think like, hey, maybe I've been kind of going about this all wrong in a sense that I know where my strengths are, but being creative, letting me step out of the box, like people just trust us here. They must trust my ability in the sense that like, okay, he put it on his menu. It's got to be good. Let's try it. And it's just spread like wildfire. It's been crazy.
What other items have you been smoking?
I've done, I've done smoked chicken wings with homemade blue cheese and pickled celery salad, sold out the door like crazy. I've done, smokehouse pastas with hickory smoked pulled pork and, the whole nine there. I've done brisket sliders. I've done, like I said, we're making our own Canadian bacon now for breakfast here. I've done homemade bacon, 3 different types, steakhouse style, thick cut with a nice glaze for an appetizer. It's been truly amazing. And the beautiful thing about it is, like, not only for my creativity and peace of mind as this is going on, I've kind of almost like breathed new life and new air into my guys in the kitchen, because it's not the same stuff that we're prepping every single day. You know what I mean? It's like creative, it's new, it's fresh, they get excited. And like,
It's fun.
it's fun. I'm a huge believer in, like, if I can keep their passion going, they're going to help me keep mine going 10x. You know what I mean? So seeing their excitement cooking and prepping new foods, has really kind of pushed me to even be like sharper on the tip of the spear.
So you keep using the term homemade.
Yeah.
How much staff do you have?
Everything.
Everything's homemade.
Everything is homemade outside of the pasta right now. We do make our own gnocchis, but I'm actually going to be purchasing a commercial pasta machine, which is going to allow us to do 100% fresh homemade pasta.
Wow.
We make our. Go ahead.
Are there any expansion plans in the future?
Of course, I would love to do that, but you know what, like, what I've learned and what I've seen, is I don't want to get greedy. I'm making a good living for myself. My staff is taken care of. The bills are paid. I've seen a lot of places kind of, grow and expand and open more and then something drops off, whether it's the quality of the food, whether it's, hey, this location's better than this location. That's my biggest fear.
Right.
I'm very happy and very focused on what we're doing here right now, where if the idea for expansion or the opportunity arose, I would absolutely take a good look at it. But is it something that's in my playbook in the next 4 to 6 months? Probably not, especially with what's going on in the world. I just have to stay true to what I'm doing here and just make sure that myself and my staff are taken care of. It's most important.
And with you doing everything homemade, opening a second location, the scary part I see is everything's consistent. So if the customer goes to Warwick Ave and you have a restaurant in Narragansett and somebody finds Narragansett veal palm different than Warwick, that's a
Sure.
problem.
Absolutely. And that's a fear of mine. But you know what? Like, I've already kind of thought the whole thing through, and I have an amazing staff here. I mean, my guys, like, the turnover rate of restaurants. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, my general manager, Kim, she's been with me for about 13 years now. Um, my sous chef, Tyler, and Matt. Tyler's been with me since he was 15. He's 30. Matt's been with me for over a decade. I haven't hired or had to get rid of anybody in about 6.5 years here. And I attribute that to kind of, me always pushing things. Like I will not accept no for an answer. Like we will get it done. We will grow. We will all be fine. Like I instill that in them, and part of me kind of thrives on that pressure. You know what I mean? It's the kind of chef in me, but also I have responsibility to these people and I take it very serious.
That tells me a lot about you as chef owner with people with long time tenure at a restaurant is not a normal
Not at all.
occurrence.
Not at all. And I was very lucky to get into this business early. I mean, I've been cooking my whole life. Professionally now, I got my first professionally cooking job when I was 14. I'm 37 now. I ran the kitchen here when I was 20. I took over ownership here when I was 23. So
Wow.
I've owned it for quite a long time on my own now. I had a great run with my mentor from Johnson and Wales. I had an even better run with my one of my best friends, who was a restaurateur here in Rhode Island as well. And we developed almost like a father-son relationship. And I kind of steered him down the right way with the cooking side because that's what I knew. But he took me under his wing on the business side, the bookkeeping, the payroll, all of that, which I enjoy doing now. But as a 25-year-old, you're like, that's not where my passion is. My passion's in the kitchen. So,
That's great. That's great. Listen, tell us a little bit about your signature dish. That's the veal palm.
well, I would say it's tough to pinpoint a signature dish because I never want to be a one-trick pony, obviously. But yes, I mean our veal parm is amazing. I stand behind that wholeheartedly. People love our chicken parm, and I tell people like, yeah, order it. It's amazing. But there's so much better stuff. I don't want to say better, but there's so much stuff that is so different and unique on these creative weekly menus that I'm doing. Like, cool, try the veal parm, but you know what? Next time, try one of my signature or specialty dishes that I'm offering that week. Something off the smoker or a specialty dish in that sense. Um, Risotto is definitely a specialty of the house. I studied in northern Italy for 4 months under an Italian master chef, and I would make countless orders of risotto every day. So risotto is one of those things. Polenta is another one. My roots are Southern Italian, so I know that kind of peasant style of cooking as well from my grandmother. Um, but like I said, I've been very blessed in my career to kind of verse myself in many different things.
So tell me a little bit. My passion for the past 25 years has really been in seafood. I've done a lot in seafood
Yep.
as a mainstay. So tell us a little bit about your seafood, where it comes from, and some of your dishes.
Sure, sure. So before this, I mean, before this, our menu was a lot more versed in seafood. Right now, I'm using like local little neck clams. Scallops from George's Bank. Prince Edward Island mussels. I enjoy those a little bit better. They're a little cleaner, a little sweeter. So we use those. The salmon that we do get is farm raised, but this weekend I had some like swordfish from Block Island, and that sold like crazy too. It was amazing. So, I'm trying to stay as local as I can. Um, you know, just doing our best with it.
That's great. All right, we got a lot more to get into. We're going to take another break. You're watching the New England Restaurant Expose with SFBNRI.com, Sports Fan Base Network RI. And we'll be back in 30 seconds. You were just watching the new Roadie Sports commercial. Welcome back to New England Restaurant Exposé with Chef Chris Paleos from Sophia's Tuscan Grill, Warwick, Rhode Island. Chris, let's get into COVID. I'd like to know what you're doing to keep your customers safe, what kind of challenges you have, and how you're going about it. I think we get a little technical difficulty, folks. All right, we're going to come back to Chris in a minute because we'd like to know how he's handling COVID. As everybody knows, the governor has tightened up some restrictions, not on restaurants, thankfully, and hopefully we can get it under control and continue back into phase 3. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and it's something that everybody needs to look at and adhere to and wear your mask. Have we got Chris back yet? No? All right, we're going to go to another commercial and see if we get Chris back on. And you're watching the New England Restaurant Exposé. All right, looks like we got Chris back. All right, welcome back, Chris.
Thank you.
Little technical difficulty during COVID.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. So, COVID.
Yep.
How are you keeping customers and employees safe? What are you doing? You're at 50% capacity.
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
How much seating does that give you with the separation of tables?
I mean, yeah, sure. It doesn't give us much, that's for sure. I mean, we're absolutely doing our best. The whole nine. We have all the posters all over the walls, obviously about social distancing and safety. My staff is in masks. We're asking people to wear the masks to their table and they can take it off. All the tables are at least 8 feet apart, which kind of hurts us in a sense that we're such a small place by square footage. I would say right now our capacity is probably 20 to 24 people. But like I said, what's been really good to us is the to-go. We've been absolutely doing astronomical numbers when it comes to go dinners and breakfasts and things like that. We're still able to accommodate those parties of 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 10. I mean, we're doing our best with them, and as long as people kind of call a week in advance or something like that, you'll be able to get your table. Sanitizer stations are everywhere. We have dividers that were custom built. To kind of separate and raise the tables a little bit, and give people a little bit more safety and a little more peace of mind that they are safe when they're here. We've had 4 COVID inspections actually by the COVID task force that has come in and kind of taken a look through things, and they always tell us that we're doing unbelievable and that we're ahead of the pack when it comes to safety and regulations. And we keep my general manager, she keeps a running log of all the guests that come into the restaurant via reservation. We need your name and phone number, and we have a stellar, report on all of that. So, it's been challenging, but at the same time, like, we're doing our best with it. And I think that's all we can really do as, restaurants and other businesses that are kind of all going through the same thing. I guess my biggest, kind of thing to say to that is, like, to anybody watching, like, support local business. Like, we need you more than ever right now. If you have a favorite spot that has, donated to your son's softball team or your daughter's basketball team, or, that has sponsored events for you, giving you gift cards, now's the time to kind of pay it forward in that sense that, we'll get through this, and most hopefully will survive. But we really need the support of the local economy, to stay away from chain restaurants, and not that there's anything against that, but the local mom and pops, the ones that are putting money into the local economy. We need you guys to kind of step up and support us, and keep the lights and the doors open for all businesses across the state.
So I think the best thing is that if a restaurant is given to your, like you said, your child's soccer team, basketball, baseball team, patronize those patrons. Go
A hundred
spend some
percent.
money at the restaurant that helped you out.
100%. If you had a favorite place, before this whole thing went down with COVID, like, support them. Whether it's takeout, whether it's sharing their post on Facebook and or Instagram, and letting their friends kind of see that you're supporting them, and maybe they'll gain a new customer out of it. And I think it's a beautiful, like, kind of chain reaction in that sense. And I think we all just
Sure.
need to come together, right now, as a community, as small business, and kind of help each other stay afloat and push through this. There will be an end to this. This is not going to be forever. Who
Absolutely.
knows when it's going to end, but right now we just need to kind of stick together and weather the storm.
Are you seeing a lot of trends in takeout items that you never had before?
um not so much trends, just because my menu changes all the time, but um like I said, we've had to change the hours a little bit, because I feel like some people are grabbing takeout a lot earlier. Like,
Yep.
I'm here most of the day, but we'll start taking to go orders at 2 o'clock to be ready for 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock for you. So that's been very helpful, to at least have that hook in the water earlier in the day, if people are interested in kind of putting their order in before things kind of get crazy around here, and you know your husband could stop home on his way home from work or something, and pick up all your food, and it's ready on time. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, to go's been very good to us. I mean, it was absolutely insane when COVID first hit, because I refused to shut down. I'm just that stubborn guy that was just like, if we're gonna shut down, like, someone from the government's gonna have to come in here and tell me I can't cook anymore. Um, so it was kind of a crazy first 2 months of COVID when this whole thing started in March. Um, we were opening at 4 o'clock, and I was closing by 6:30. We were doing, I would say, anywhere from 250 to 350 to go orders, dinners, in
Really?
that 2 hour span, where to the point where I would either be scared, I'd be running out of food, or me and my guys would be absolutely shot, because it was just 1,000 miles an hour for 2.5 hours, pumping out to goes with a stack of checks this deep on the line with a full board. It was crazy. It was
So you didn't
absolutely
close.
crazy.
You didn't close down
Not
at all.
not one day.
Really?
The only thing we suspended was breakfast. We shut down Sunday breakfast for a while, but we were open the regular 4 nights for dinner. Takeout only, and doing the car curbside pickup, and my bus boys became delivery boys, and we just basically adapted, and thank God. I mean, I was kind of ahead of the curve when it came to the to-goes and everything like that. I was kind of ready for that to happen, and it totally flipped what the business was, on its head for a while. But once we kind of got a grasp on it and knew that, okay, this was life right now, we adapted very, very quickly, and we were able to make adjustments. Like, we were able to pivot so quickly and so efficiently, and it was amazing.
Can you tell me, on a COVID inspection, you said you'd had four of them from the
Yep.
state. What do they do exactly?
So they come in, and they basically measure your tables, make sure they're 8 feet apart, make sure
Literally
that
take out a ruler?
literally take out a measuring tape and measure a couple of your tables, not all of them, just a couple.
Right,
They don't want to make it harder on you. I'll say that.
right.
You know, they're here to kind of enforce safety. They're not here to kind of nitpick and penalize, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll take a look at your tables. They'll take a look at your capacity. They'll count heads, make sure you're within kind of where you're supposed to be. Make sure your staff is in masks. Make sure your guys in the back are in masks. They'll pop their head in the kitchen. They won't really come into the kitchen, but they'll pop their head in. And then they'll basically take a look at that log and make sure you have all the proper paperwork posted on walls, all the proper flyers and things like that. And like I said, it's painless. 10 minutes, they're in and out.
Great. All right, let's talk a little bit about the holidays. We got the holidays coming up.
Yes.
Open up, close Thanksgiving.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing kind of takeout in a sense where we're going to be doing catering for the holidays. We're offering, all homemade stuff. But I'm limiting it to the first 100 people because, I've had to kind of adapt. We've never done Thanksgiving ever. It's always been a family day for me, and I've always wanted my staff to spend it with their family. But I figured we try something a little bit different just because we kind of lost out in the, March and April and May with a lot of parties and private functions that we did have planned. So I said, let's give it a try. The menu drops tomorrow. And we're expecting it to fill up within probably 2-3 hours. That's kind of what I'm expecting.
People should go online tomorrow and place their order.
Yeah, so definitely, like our page on Facebook, Sophia's Tuscan Grill, or on Instagram at Sophia's Tuscan Grill _. And definitely take a look at that. Again, everything is homemade. We're offering it for 2 people or 4 people. So if you have 8 people, you'd get two sets of 4. And again, it's just kind of something that we're trying new. And I've kind of explained that to my staff is like this whole year has just been adaptation. Let's try this. If it works, it works. Then we can kind of put it in our repertoire. If it doesn't, no hard feelings. It's all good. So yeah, we're trying that. We're still, we're booking Christmas parties still a lot more outside of the restaurant, office buildings, things like that. But we do offer in-house Christmas parties. So if anyone's, looking for, something on that end, I'd love to help. The BYOB stands true. When you do have a party here, you bring whatever you like to drink for your guests. And gift cards. Gift cards are huge, especially like for any small business right now, or you can always kind of prepay in a sense to put the money in your small business pocket right now and enjoy the meal. Like if you're not ready to come out to a restaurant and sit and eat, put it in a drawer, save it for January, February, March, and then use it then, but that local support is so necessary right now. So buying those gift cards for, family members, it's crucial for a lot of places to get through this winter that's coming.
And with Christmas coming, you do full takeout? Are you open just Christmas
Yes.
Eve for takeout?
No. Yes. So basically, just takeout. Again, it's always been a family holiday for me. I don't. If I'm not going to work it, I don't expect my staff to work it, and that's kind of been my mentality. I don't want them to have to give up their Christmas or Christmas Eve if I'm not going to give up mine. You know what I mean? So we've never done that. So we do catering for Christmas. We do pickups on Christmas Eve morning. And you can kind of pick everything up. Everything comes with heating instructions. The same thing with Thanksgiving. Everything comes with heating instructions. It's super easy, super simple, super efficient. Most of the food even comes with in pans that you can just literally pop in your oven. So it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, we're hoping and praying for a great Christmas season as far as the gift cards, as far as the catering, and you know what? I'm anticipating the Christmas parties will be a little bit lower than normal this year based on restrictions and everything like that. And I get that, so we have to kind of do our best to try to make up for it on the other end, so we'll still be fine. We'll do a bunch of Christmas parties, but like the past 5 years, we've been December, we've booked every single day a Christmas party, like
Really?
we didn't have a day off for the entire month of December for the past 5 years. It's exhausting, but I absolutely love it. You know what I mean? So I'm mentally gearing myself up for it to be a little bit different this year, and it is what it is. We'll make it through.
And reservations. Now, can you do reservations online and call in?
So we don't do the online reservations. Basically, I am kind of always weary about those because we're such a small place. I'm so afraid of double booking. Whether, even if that reservation and that phone call come in at the exact same time, the wires are going to get crossed at some point. So I've always been afraid of that. So your best bet, just call the restaurant. You know what I mean? Just give us a call here. If it's a day we're closed, you can call, leave it on the message machine. I constantly check the messages. I have the phone line here hooked up to my cell phone. I try to pick up every single call that comes through, even on my days off. That's how crucial it is right now. You don't even want to miss that one phone call. So yeah, definitely give us a call for reservations, and we'll get you situated. No problem.
And when will your Christmas Eve, Christmas Day menu drop on your website?
I would say probably right after Thanksgiving. Right after Thanksgiving, we'll put out those, those catered items and those catered dishes that we do. And yeah, like I said, everything again homemade. Nothing is frozen, nothing is canned, nothing is prepackaged. I really pride myself on that. I mean, it's super important to me, and it's the way that I choose to run the business, and I'll never change that.
That's great. And it's not far away, so I'm going to ask you, New Year's Eve.
Yes, that's a day that we always do. That's probably the number one or two restaurant day of the year for us. So, yeah, we will be open. We'll probably be open full hours, probably 4 to 10. So come by, enjoy a great dinner, a nice bottle of wine or champagne, get ready for the ball to drop. And, it's a beautiful thing.
New 2021. Can't wait. Can't
Can't
wait.
wait. Absolutely.
All right. Well, anything else you'd like to tell the viewers?
No, definitely. Take a look at us on social media. Follow Sophia's Tuscan Grill, like I said, on Facebook, Instagram at Sophia's Tuscan Grill _ our website, sophiastuscangrill.com. There's a lot of good information on there. The menus are posted every week on Wednesday morning that we change on our website, our Facebook, and our Instagram. So if you've never given us a try, please do. I mean, like I said, we're really blessed this year from Rhode Island Monthly. We actually won best restaurant in the state, which was amazing. We
Wow.
won so we won best restaurant in the state. We won best BYOB in the state. We won best restaurant West Bay and best Italian West Bay. So it was just an amazing feeling. I don't even know where to go from here when we got the news and we won those awards. So thank you all that voted for us. I mean, I feel like we're doing something right over here, and we're just going to stay strong and keep doing what we're doing, and push up to the next level. So if you've never been, please check us out. Call for a reservation, takeout. We'd love to have you. If you guys come in and I'm available, I'll definitely come out and say hello, meet you guys. It would be great. I love kind of meeting new people and expanding the business and keep things moving in a positive direction.
Do you offer anything for the gluten community?
Absolutely. I mean, we always have gluten-free pasta we cook to order. We always change the water, change the tongs, change the whole nine. If you look through some of our reviews on, Facebook and Yelp and Google and all that, you'll see that we absolutely pride ourselves and do our best, to take care of these dietary situations, these dietary guidelines that some people will live by. So yeah, we absolutely cook it, do whatever you need. Vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, doesn't matter. We'll take care of you.
All right, folks. So visit Sophia's Tuscan Grill, Warwick Ave, Warwick, Rhode Island. Chris Paleos, chef owner. And we thank you, Chris, and being our first guest. Very exciting. I think we had a very good conversation.
Definitely.
And
Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing you again and visiting the restaurant again.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Best of luck. Everybody stay safe out there, and come see me at the restaurant. Thanks again.
Stay safe and don't forget your mask. Ciao,
That's
Bella.
it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And you're watching the news.